Maybe in a decade they take me out on a stretcher till I come back like Roman Reigns. Blood in my veins, still boiling and the pot finna bubble up. 10 blunts lit, I got the drop in the double cup. Bro, they know I'm at the spot and I'm finna fuck 'em up. Pearly gates waiting, but it's no heaven. Call me baby reverend, choke 'em out like Dan Severn, and my brother still bludgeon. We at the complex on a new day. Dreads to my ears, I look like Lupe. Yeah.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 14 of Permanent Merch.
Yes, sir.
I'm one of your hosts. I'm Pat Busey.
And I'm Aaron Parker, and we made it back.
It took us a month. We've been out doing some stuff, traveling the world, watching way too much wrestling because there's 47 shows on now.
You've been traveling the world. Like every weekend, you're like, I'm in fucking Italy. And
Yeah.
I'm in Memphis. And
I went to Memphis. That's, I don't know about Italy. I don't got that money, but I went to Memphis, and it was pretty fun. I got to see a couple friends. Shout out to Maria and Ryan Azada. And they took me over to see 901 Wrestling, which was like a little indie wrestling show down there that was filmed in like a old VHS store called the Black Lodge. It had like VHSs all around, and it had like little arcade systems. It was
typical outlaw mud show, huh?
Yeah, it was very cool. I was very into it. But yeah, that was a fun time. Still can't find any AEW action figures in actual stores. So that's always a fun time, even in other places. They're hurting. All I can find is Brian fucking Cage every time, and
I see Chuck Taylor all the time. Chuck Taylor and Lance Archer. I see Lance Archer everywhere.
I see Lance too, man. And nowadays I'm like, I kind of want a Lance Archer toy. Like, respect on that white dreaded man.
Oh God.
But I want him in his new like Jesus vest that he wears, the like all white stuff. That outfit's a clean get up right there.
I mean, that's funny because like you said, there's been a lot that's happened in this month, and Lance Archer is back on TV now. So
yeah, he's looking
or
great.
he was for 1 week. So
but yeah, what have you been up to, Aaron, for the last month?
Dude, it's crazy over here. Just sitting on my couch drinking White Claws. Me and the old lady are actually getting ready to move soon. So literally all the toys in the house are packed up except for what's behind me. I left this up just for the pod, but if like you could see the other side of this room, it looks like pure chaos. There's boxes everywhere. There's like hands to toys and shit everywhere. So packing, man. This is my first apartment that I'm moving out of since I started collecting action figures. And when you have to move, when you have to move and you have a lot of toys, it makes you not want to buy anymore. So maybe that's a good thing. So
I got on that with comic books, and the solution to all that is you just put it in your parents' basement,
and hope that it doesn't flood.
Yeah. Hope that it doesn't flood, and hope that they don't get an itch to just start throwing shit out one day.
For sure,
which is a danger in taking advantage of your parents' houses. But yeah, we're back after a month. Sorry about the break, y'all. Like I said, we've just been all over the place, and hopefully we can get back on a regular weekly basis so that we can bring y'all our hot takes on the wrestling industry. A lot of cool shit's happened since last time we talked to everybody, and we're here to talk about it. And I guess we're gonna start off with some WWE stuff.
Well, before we do that, we got to show the pickups that we got recently.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Pickups.
We did find. I did find something while I was out and about. So I guess we're gonna start talking about our little figure collection. I only really collect AEW figures, but I will collect WWE figures if they're cool. Like that new Three Faces of Foley one. I really want that the Cactus Jack in the WCW outfit with like the kind of like cow pattern on the pants or whatever.
He's got the bang bang hands.
Bang bang, baby. But while I was at 901 Wrestling, they had like a little table set up for some figures. And I luckily found one that I didn't have. I had the rest. It was like kind of the standard, like there was like a Christian. I think there was a Chuck Taylor.
So this was at their event? They had AEW
This
figures?
was at their event. They just had like, I don't think that they were like, it wasn't 901 Wrestling selling the figures. It was just like people setting up like a little booth kind of. But yeah, I managed to get, I believe this is the new Unmatched collection. I managed to get a little CM Punk for the people.
Oh, with the Larry jacket.
Yeah, he's got the Larry jacket. So I think this is the newer one that just came out because it's in the Corazon de Leon Chris Jericho collection. So I think that was like maybe one series back.
AKA when I was not watching AEW.
Yeah, but
because that one comes with the trading cards, right?
Some of them come with the trading cards. I don't think this one does.
I'm confused on the unmatched ones because, like you said, some of the unmatched do come with the cards and some don't. I don't get it, but
I wanna say. I don't know. I don't open any of them. So they just sit on my wall.
I know the Evil Uno came with cards, and then I got the Brody Lee, and he didn't have any cards. Or did he have cards? I can't. Oh, Brody Lee did have cards. MJF didn't have cards. The MJF I got didn't have cards. So I don't know, but
well, yeah.
That's what Eric probably knows all about.
Yeah, when we get Eric back on here, we'll do a deep dive on cards because that's his forte. But yeah, that was my pickup. What did you get?
It's funny because we were talking about doing the pickups on here, and I only had one thing 2 days ago. Now I have three things because I have a problem. But I actually have a beef. I got a bone to pick with Ringside Collectibles because I ordered the Defining Moments Shawn Michaels, the new one, and the box came beat up, and I wanted to keep it in the box, so I ordered another one. Yeah. I ordered another one just because I was like, well, hopefully the other one doesn't come messed up. But he's pretty cool. He's got his little.
That's a stylish figure right there. I like that.
Yeah, it's pretty dope, and it's like the entrance gear is soft, so you can actually do moves with them. So that's pretty cool. I'm happy about that one.
That's awesome.
Then, also, I was just on Amazon yesterday, and I saw that this was on sale for $8. I got your girl Mercedes.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
And I normally don't do the basics, but she's got like the little heels on. I thought that was cool. That's like totally a Sasha look or Mercedes, whatever you want to call her.
Very cool. So yeah, they have like what? It's like the basics and then the elites and then those like big white ones. What are they?
Yeah, the ultimates.
Like,
the ultimates.
The ultimates.
So these ones definitely don't have like that good of articulation, but I figure like unless Mercedes goes to AEW, there's probably not going to be a Mercedes figure again. So
Ringside's been doing, they did a Suzuki, Minoru Suzuki figure.
You're right. So it could happen, but more than likely, unless she goes to AEW, who knows? And then today I was out with my girl actually, and we went to the Daily to eat, and I had to stop into a toy store down in Carytown called Toy Lair. I took the Andre the Giant I had and the Evil I had because I didn't like them, so I wanted to trade them in, and I traded them, and I got this guy actually.
Oh, that's a fine Kurt right there.
And also, this still works. Check it out. I don't know if you can hear it. Yeah, so this shit's
That's great.
This shit's dope. So those are the pickups.
You gonna take that one out of the box?
No, I think I'm gonna keep that one in the box.
Really?
Yeah, because it has a little thing that plays this song, and I think they're coming out with another Kurt Angle like later this year. That's an ultimate that has like 3 heads or some shit. Oh, okay. So I'll buy that one and take that one out the box and keep that one in the box. So
there you go, full WWE right there, man.
There you go. For all the plastic collectors watching, that's your little segment.
There you go. And now we're gonna get into some of the shows we've seen, starting with last night's WWE Get Down at SummerSlam, which I thought was a pretty decent show. I was kind of in and out during the the Shayna and Ronda stuff because it doesn't really capture my attention that much. But doing that, I also kind of missed the Gunther and Drew McIntyre match, which I actually wanted to watch. But but yeah, going down the card, you started off with Logan Paul versus Ricochet, which it fucking delivered again. Like,
Yeah, it's honestly like it pains me so much, and I'm sure I'm not the only one to actually admit that Logan Paul is like really fucking good. Like, like I don't understand how and I don't even want to say it's his psychology because he's hasn't been wrestling that long, but like his facials and like everything that he does in the ring, it's so like it makes so much sense. I've never seen anyone who has as little experience as he does on live television, like wrestling, like get it so quickly. And I mean, I know Logan Paul probably has like a bajillion things that he's doing. If I was him, I would just quit everything and just wrestle because, dude,
I don't know if wrestling is the most lucrative thing that he does.
He's probably making way more money doing other things. But like, dude, like, I mean, the brass knuckles at the end when he covered Ricochet, he put his hand like under him so the ref couldn't see it and slid him in his pants real quick before he celebrated. He was just taunting the crowd the whole time. He did the buckshot onto the floor. I don't think Adam Page has even done that. Like the buckshot onto the floor.
No, he hasn't. But that man's athletic as fuck. You know, like he's hopping all over the place in that match.
I fucking hate Logan Paul, but like I love him as a wrestler. Like it's crazy.
I think Ricochet was doing a good job of like keeping it kind of together. Because I could see, you know, like you would see like Logan get a little lost here and there, but it was like, they were doing a lot in that match. So I get it. And, you know, you overlook it completely because of like the fact, like when you see like his facials when he's getting hurt or when he's playing up to the crowd, just like with that fucking menacing, like eyes wide open face. Yeah, you're just like, all right, man, this is good. I'm sad that this is good. But
you said something. You said something too in the group chat when it was going on about how it was a little sloppy, and I did see that. I did see some moments where Logan looked like he was getting. It was almost like he was getting like not nervous, but he was like, you know.
Like, well, they were doing, like I said, they were doing a lot in this match. So I was saying that it was looking sloppy in comparison to his other matches.
Yes, his other matches were definitely a different pace. This one was like they were really trying to go.
They were going the whole time, and like even something. Speaking of the buckshot, that was kind of I don't think as well placed as they want, but they still got the fucking crowd going for it. Because
there was a lot of very ambitious spots. Like they did a Spanish fly off of the apron where they both were supposed to land on their feet, and they kind of like jumbled it up a little bit. But like you said, they were trying a lot. So
the Spanish fly off the apron, I was just like, I don't know if y'all have enough room to do that. Like, it was like when they were doing it,
it was like I was like, yo,
I was like, all right, whatever. But yeah, it was great. I thought, you know, they're never gonna probably do shit with Ricochet, but it added to Ricochet's stock, I think, a little bit in the WWE. I mean, I always known that he's been a great wrestler, but he's been doing this like little feud like as well as anybody else could, I think, in his promos and stuff. So
dare I say too that you know, and I'm gonna have to go back and watch it because you know recency bias is a thing, but dare I say that this is Ricochet's best main roster match since his match with Gunther for the IC title. Dare I say it might be his best main roster match. You know, I mean, it's the first Ricochet match since he's came from NXT that I've been like invested in. That I was like on my feet, like this is good shit.
I kind of missed, I think, his initial push that they tried to give him on the main roster. So all I've really seen up until this from Ricochet is like either him with Braun in like a multiple tag match or him in a battle royale or something.
Yeah, you know, he didn't miss much. He didn't miss much because when he came to the main roster, they didn't until they gave him that Intercontinental Championship. They weren't really doing a whole lot with him.
Did they
So
did they try like when he got up? He got a match with Gunther, but like
Gunther's who beat him for the title. So he had the IC
okay.
title. He beat Nakamura for the title, I believe. So like around that time period when he beat Nakamura for the IC title, they were kind of, giving him a semi push. But it was one of those things where it's kind of an Austin Theory type of deal where it's like you have the title, but like no one really cares that you have the title.
Yeah.
You're not doing anything important with the title. We're just going to give it to Gunther, and now he's going to make it important. So
What did Austin Theory come out for last night?
the Battle Royal.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why didn't they just make that Battle Royal for the U.S. title? That's what they should have done.
Because they only want to give him little crumbs. We could talk about that one next. LA Knight won the Battle Royal, so they finally gave him something.
He won something, yeah. He won something.
It wasn't for anything.
It was for a Slim Jim sponsorship, bro.
Yeah, he gets nothing but Slim Jims from now on. So
what did you think of the commercial afterwards with him and Bianca Belair? Did you see it?
Oh yeah, I saw it.
I thought it was pretty good. Honestly, like, it's so funny because Bianca's great, but like LA Knight is just such a natural. He kind of made her look like an amateur actor in that commercial. Like, he should be the next Macho Man. Like, oh yeah, like on Slim Jim, that's perfect.
That's who he can impersonate next. He can add fucking Macho Man to The Rock and Stone Cold. But that dude's so over right now, and like it's good to see him finally get a win, even if it's not a win that would have been cooler, like Money in the Bank, or that what was the last thing that he was in for? Was that for the US champ?
It was that tournament that he lost to Rey Mysterio, or was it Santos Escobar that he lost to in that tournament?
Rey Mysterio beat him, I think.
Yeah.
And now the fates have cursed Rey Mysterio with
I will say though, battle royals in WWE, we know what they're going to be. We know they're just there to fill time. But I will say, man, I mentioned this in the group chat last night, and I don't know if everybody caught it because we were all just talking so much shit moving fast.
Yeah.
But that battle royal was kind of stacked. Like Shinsuke Nakamura, AJ Styles, Austin Theory. I mean, say what you want about Austin Theory. Who else? I mean, Omos. Say what you want about Omos. Bronson Reed. Who else was in there? Yeah, there was a lot of like guys who have been put in. Oh, Chad Gable, Otis. There was a lot of guys who have been in like favorable positions that were in that battle royal. So in comparison to like, say, Andre the Giant battle royal, I think it was better. But nothing you need to watch other than to see LA Knight win.
Yeah, and I think that's all I was really watching. I kind of zoned out most of the match, but I was stoked for him at the end. I was like, thank goodness, man.
And look, being in there in the last four, I think the last four was him, AJ, Shinsuke, and Bronson Reed. So the fact he was in the final three with AJ and Nakamura, I mean, even though both of those guys at this point in their WWE run, they're just kind of like getting those checks.
Yeah, they're here to help out, though.
It's still a rub. It's still in the eyes of the fans that are coming to those shows and chanting for LA Knight every night. Those are the guys that they're like, damn, LA Knight just eliminated AJ Styles. So that still means something. So,
and then and we actually skipped, but before that match, speaking of giving the rub, how many rockets can they put on Cody Rhodes' back, my dear? Like, what the fuck? They shot that man to the moon. That was definitely my favorite of the three, I would say, of the Brock Lesnar versus Cody Rhodes matches. Well, the second one is just whatever. That was the little cast one. And the first one was pretty good. But this, I thought Brock was like putting a lot of effort into. He looked like a beast. He looks like he's like gained a little weight or something.
That tan? Did you see that hot dog tan he had?
Dude, he had some hot dog tan. Man was sweating in the first 20 seconds of the match. And it just like with a little gut, he looks like even more menacing. but he was going off. I was texting everybody. I was like, dude, this is why I love Brock so much. I think Brock gets very underrated for like having put people over and like being beneficial to the new roster coming in, even though it's Cody. But you know, like it's still uh, he was giving a lot out there, and he was helping Cody out. But you know, Cody still did it. He beat Brock in the way that he almost beat Roman at WrestleMania with the multiple crossroads.
Oh yeah, true. True.
And then afterwards, he gets the handshake from Brock Lesnar.
That's a big deal. That's a big deal.
Has that ever been done?
Brock has never shooken anyone's hand after a match, I don't believe. So that's
Brock
very
has never shown emotion ever in his life.
Yeah, and I mean, like, you know, I think this show in particular, especially after I watched Collision this morning, like in comparison, I think it really highlighted, in this match in particular too, it really highlighted like why WWE has been the number one company for so many years. Because when you can get performers who can do that WWE style so good, like I said last night when we were talking, I was like, the match was so tropey. Like it was so wrestling tropey.
Yeah.
But Brock and Cody are both just so good at wrestling tropiness. Like even Cody's documentary, it's so corny, but it's Cody.
Dude, it's the corniest.
But it's good.
The corniest shit.
But it's like Forrest Gump. It's just good. It's corny, but it's good.
I remember going back on the network. I watched every one of those documentaries. They all have the same fucking soundtrack. I thought they were gonna do something new for this Cody documentary, but no, I heard that acoustic start slapping, and I was like, God.
What they did was they put the budget on music towards shots in the desert with his ring gear on. That's what they did.
In the desert.
But I mean, it's him and Brock, man. They're just they are two of the best at the WWE style, and I think
definitely
this show showed that off because there was a few really good matches on this show. And I think that when you're watching a WWE show, every match is going to be WWE style.
Yeah.
I think this was the best WWE style match on the show, even though they're all WWE style matches.
And I think an easy way of seeing that is like, let's say like before All Elite Wrestling, I would look at dudes like Mox and Daniel Bryan and be like, I wish they were like somewhere else. You know, I wish that they were wrestling somewhere else where it's not the WWE style, because it doesn't work for everybody. And I don't think I've ever said that about Brock. I just like, I don't want to see Brock go anywhere else. I want Brock to remain, you know, like just WWE's beast. And yeah, same with like Taker. Same kind of with Cody at this point. Like I wouldn't want to see Cody go back to AEW or anything like that. I don't think he ever will, you know, like this is towards the end of his career. So I think he just wants the strap, and then
he plays well within
the sunset.
He plays well within the WWE system.
Yeah.
You know? This wasn't my favorite match of the night, but I think that it's like you can't do a WWE match much better than you could have done this one. Like if anybody else had done like 10 fucking 9 countouts in a row outside, I would have cut it off. I would have been like, why the fuck does he keep rolling out? Why the fuck does he keep trying to? I would have been so mad, but it was so good the way Cody was. It was
building the whole time. Like the whole time, I was like, God, he's just barely getting in there, and I was hooked on that TV.
That's when I knew. I was like, normally I would hate and that's why I was telling you in our last episode about me thinking Cody's Wrestler of the Year. If there's something that I would normally hate that somebody can make good, that's when you know it's good. And everything Cody does, I normally would hate. But he's just so good.
I mean, if you showed me, like, without any context, if you showed me a picture of Cody in his walkout outfit, I'd be like,
fuck this guy.
What the fuck is this dude?
Yeah.
This dude, the mascot for America over here? Like
everything aesthetically about Cody Rhodes, I hate. The way he talks, the way he walks, the way he dresses, I hate it. But I just fucking love it so much because he's so good at it. Like, why is he so fucking good at it, man?
After that documentary, I think I said to you last night too, I was like, watching that documentary, it makes it seem like Cody's the type of dude that if you like just shook his hand and said, "I appreciate you," he would start tearing up.
Yo, speaking of, have you? All right, so you have a sidebar. You have HBO Max or Max or whatever it's called.
Yeah, Max.
Have you watched that show, The Righteous Gemstones?
Yeah, I just got through the Memphis wrestling stuff in season 2. So yeah.
So Cody is like Baby Billy.
Yeah.
Like you would really normally hate everything about him, but he does such a good job playing the character.
He does. I mean, he's great. When he got that neck tattoo, I thought that was like it for me, because I looked at that neck tattoo and I was like, this man is about to have some hot takes on race, I think. He was,
and then he ended racism.
Yeah, he's doing it, man. I think with this win, it puts him back in the picture with hopefully Roman, and not for that other belt. I don't want to see him win that other belt.
Yeah, I think from how the night ended, I think that's where it's going. I think that's where it's going. We know where we're going now. Hopefully no one gets hurt.
Do you think we wait until next WrestleMania to do that?
Unfortunately, probably.
Yeah.
Like the way that Triple H loves to just edge all of us. I think that's what's going to happen. He does, man.
He be edging.
Yeah, bro.
That man definitely be edging. So past that, kudos to Cody, kudos to Logan Paul, and kudos to LA Knight. But then we got Gunther versus Drew McIntyre. I am not gonna lie, I missed this match completely. I don't know if I went to the bathroom or something. I don't know. Was it a long match?
It was kind of a long match. It was right after that Shayna and Ronda match, and I was like,
"Oh, I skipped over that because I didn't even want to talk about it."
I was really checked. I have things to say about that, which we'll get to, but I was really checked out during that match. Gunther and Drew was good, and this goes back to my point about the WWE style. This is why people really love Gunther, because his matches, and Drew's kind of the same way. Their matches kind of stand out. They're more of a British strong style take on the WWE style.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say Gunther doesn't do the WWE style.
Yeah, it's a little different. Like Gunther always stands out, which is good. My only issue is that sometimes, and I feel like especially with this whole Drew McIntyre, Sheamus, and Gunther love triangle, I feel like it's almost at the point where it's like kind of where Brock got to after a while, where it's like the finisher spamming match. It's good.
Yeah.
But it's like, how many times do we have to watch guys chop each other back and forth for 2 minutes? And I love it. Look, I love it. It's probably going to be a hot take. I just think that, and I love both of those guys. I love Drew. I love Gunther. But it was a good match. I just,
it's also, we've been doing it for so long.
Yeah. Yeah, and like we know Gunther's gonna win. Like that's the thing that makes Drew. I think the thing that makes Drew good, besides his wrestling, is that you always view him as a credible threat to win in any situation. Clash of the Castle, people really were mad he didn't beat Roman Reigns, right? Like Drew is always a credible threat, but Gunther has been built up so much more than Drew in the past few months that no one thought that Drew was going to beat Gunther, and I think that was the problem. But it was a good match.
Who do you think beats Gunther?
That's really tough to say.
Like, who's left that, we could see
that's a tough one, man.
Actually being a viable option. Because I feel like all the people that would take down Gunther would...
have lost to him already?
Have lost to him already? Or are in a different title picture?
So I'll put this out there in the universe. If Damian Priest didn't have the briefcase, it will probably be in that realm, either him or Finn, but they're doing their thing. I think that WWE is really, really going hard on the young talent thing. I think that Bronson Reed's going to be somebody that they build up. I think Bronson Reed's somebody who you could see probably in that position. I think, who knows what they're doing with Omos. I don't like Omos, but who knows what they're doing with Omos.
Don't give that man a belt, goddammit.
I mean, you still have the OGs like we were talking about in the Battle Royal, and Shinsuke and AJ, you still have them hanging around.
I don't think either of them.
Kevin Owens is hurt. Kevin Owens is hurt, so Sami Zayn is somebody who I don't know what Kevin Owens' injury is, so I don't know if he's going to be out for a while or if it's short term. They haven't took the titles off of them, so it's probably short term.
I don't know his
So
status, and I don't know if it's a done deal that like he's not coming back.
mhm.
But if Big E comes back
I was gonna say that
and
too.
takes out
I
Gunther,
was gonna say
that
that
would be
too.
like the fucking
The
that
other
would be
thing about that
awesome.
is though is that there's rumors that he's probably done. Like he's
Which
probably,
is so
which is
sad.
sad. And another one is Randy Orton too. Randy Orton too. He could be done too, but he's another guy who could come back. And I would love to see a Gunther Randy Orton feud. That would be awesome. I think they would complement each other very well.
Yeah, but would you expect
So
Randy Orton to like win that?
no, but I think it would be entertaining for a feud to maybe give some more time to build someone else up. And hey, even if Randy did beat Gunther for it, I wouldn't be mad. That could be his last, hurrah, beat Gunther for the
Well,
title and then have one last run. Because he's just like Big E, where they're both in that same position where it's like doctors are telling them like one false move and you could be like paralyzed or whatever, something like that. So,
we
but they
still
said the
got
same thing about
another.
Brian. Said the same thing about Brian, and look at him. So
We still got another year of Gunther versus Drew McIntyre and Sheamus, so we'll talk about it again then.
yeah, yeah.
I'll just let you kind of go on the Shayna Ronda thing. I don't care about this
Yeah.
feud at all.
Before I go on my tangent, I will say this. I'm very happy for Shayna. I think that Shayna has worked very hard since she's been all the way going back into NXT. I loved her in NXT. I feel like they shortchanged her whole entire run on the main roster because she's one of the best women's wrestlers that they have, and they don't use her that way, probably because she has the charisma of a paper bag, which happens.
I thought that
Um,
first promo though, when they split finally, was good.
And yeah,
Uh,
when you give her something to sink her teeth into, you know, my issue, and I will say this too, those women beat the dog shit out of each other. So kudos to them for doing that. I mean, if you didn't watch that match, Pat, it's worth going back and watching just for the spectacle of it because they were
no,
fighting under MMA rules, and these women were actually like beating the shit out of each other. They were like Ronda kneed Shayna in the face at one point, and I thought they were really going to stop the match. Like the people came out in the corner and it was almost reminiscent of like the Brawl for All, but like in the same bad type of way. And this is why I have a problem with that match. I don't like when wrestling promoters or in wrestling companies try to do MMA crossover style matches because number one, they never do them right, and number two, wrestling is all about feeding off of the crowd and psychology, and the crowd isn't there to see an MMA fight. My
yeah,
main issue with this match was that it was under MMA rules, but in an MMA fight, number one, you have rounds. So you got a round for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and then you go to your corner and then you come back. It's impossible. It's humanly impossible for, say you got Conor McGregor and Alexander Gustafsson. They're not going to beat each other's ass for 15 minutes straight in a wrestling match. So someone's going to gas out and pass out and get knocked out.
well,
So
yeah, it's just that
this
thing
doesn't make
where
sense. The psychology of it doesn't make sense.
they think the audience is like stupid still, and like that's the
Yes,
thing,
yes,
and it's
and
just like they
you
are
can't.
for the most part, but it's like, come on, man.
Yeah,
Like in a
and you
in a
can't.
world where we know everything about wrestling, like it's just like,
You can't go like half shoot, half real, or half
yeah,
shoot, half gimmick. It has to be one way or the other. You can't be like, oh yeah, like let's just like kind of pull our. No, you either punch or you work punch. It's
yeah.
one or the other. And if you do in between, then it's gonna look weird. And I just feel really bad for number one for Rhonda because I know she's been trying to get more creative control and license on what she's trying to do. And I have a feeling, my theory is that Vince or whoever was probably like, okay, fine, you can do an MMA match. And I have a feeling that Ronda probably wanted a whole lot of other things. Ronda probably wanted a corner man. Ronda probably wanted it to be in a fucking cage like Ken Shamrock and Owen. They probably wanted a bunch of other shit. And they probably were like, no, you're just going to have a match and we're going to say it's MMA rules. And it just ended up being dog shit. So
Yeah.
I don't think it's their fault that it was bad. And I think that they worked really hard. But and also, last point, an MMA rules match, and you're fighting Ronda Rousey, who only has lost one time in MMA, and we're supposed to believe that you really choked her out.
And it's also like she would win in under like 5 seconds every time.
like Shayna Baszler did not make it to the UFC for a reason.
Yeah.
Ronda Rousey is the greatest women's combat athlete for a reason. That's like putting me in the ring with Mike Tyson and being like, "Oh, I beat Mike Tyson."
Yeah, bro.
Come on, bro. Just because we both have a gap doesn't mean that I'm on the same playing field as him. So
Yeah. No. Understandable.
Anyway,
Understandable.
had to get that
And
rant out.
that's fine. And I think the other two matches that are kind of that got sidelined for this, the Rhea versus what's her name?
Beth Phoenix? Was that who she was?
I thought she's been feuding with the tall lady.
Raquel.
Raquel Rodriguez.
I would have rather seen that.
Yeah, that would have been great. It's just weird that like Rhea wasn't on the show. And then they also had the Becky versus Trish that
I would have rather seen that too.
yeah. But I guess we got this. You know, good on Shayna for getting on there. But yeah, I think either of those matches could have taken this place, and this could have been on like the pre-show or something.
It's by far the worst match of the weekend, in my opinion. And the other women's match was the second worst match of the weekend, in my opinion, too. So,
well, we'll talk about that in a second. In between those is Seth Rollins beating Finn Balor. There was like really nothing here. I feel like it was just like I knew Seth Rollins was gonna win, and it's like they're gonna do a good match, but I don't know.
I disagree. I thought that this was my favorite match of the night, and I also thought that this is the best Finn Balor Seth Rollins match that they've had. Period.
This is the best Finn has looked, in my opinion, in a long time.
Yes, and it's unfortunate that I don't know about you, but I know me personally. I haven't been watching week to week television in WWE for the past like month, and I've heard that they've been doing a really really good job of building up Finn lately and making him credible to the point where a lot of people thought that he might win, which is
well, they're building to like the breakdown of the Judgment Day, yes. I guess. Yeah. So I'm into that, but it was too soon to take it off Seth already. I guess they're playing up the Universal Championship match where Finn won it originally off Seth, I think. Yeah.
And there was a couple callbacks, and that's why I love this match, because there was much like the Brock and Cody match. So I like this match better than the Brock and Cody match, but I don't think that these two guys are as good at the WWE style as Brock and Cody, because they're definitely more of the indie darling, for lack of a better term, guys.
They're both dudes that I look at and I go, it would be cool if they showed up in AEW.
Never a bad match. Like neither one of them have ever had a bad match. That I can think of. But this show in general, like the level of storytelling is just so like I think for as much shit that a lot of old heads talk on wrestling, and I agree with a lot of them too, but the level of storytelling, like Finn did the power bomb spot into the barricade to Seth to like kind of call back to that. He had the 7 written on his shoulder for 7 years since that first match they had where he broke his shoulder. And I didn't even know it's been that long. I feel old as shit because 7 years.
Damn, that does feel like it was not too long ago. But
Seth came out in the exact same entrance gear that he wore that night.
I was there. I was there the day after when he came out and he was injured. I went to Raw and I went to the NXT takeover where Shinsuke beat Samoa Joe for the title in NXT.
Speaking of Joe, we'll get to him.
And he also broke Joe's jaw, I think, in that match. But
was it for a shoot?
I think he accidentally broke Joe's jaw in that match.
King of Strong Style for real.
King of Strong Style, baby.
But yeah, like this, like the storytelling at the end of the my favorite. I always say this: like a match can be bad, but if the finish is good, I still like it. I don't think so. I don't think this match was a 4.5-star match or anything like that at all. But like the last 3 minutes of this match were just so fucking good. Where Damian Priest comes out and he tries to give Finn the briefcase, and he's putting his full loyalty and trust into Finn to win the title, and Finn doesn't want to do it that way because Finn's got too much pride. So Finn turns around and Damian throws it in the ring so he can use it, and then Seth stomps his face on it. I love it because it sets up my theory is that Finn is going to blame Damian for him losing, even though Damian tried to help. And that's what's going to start sowing the seeds of dissension. And Damian's going to say, "Fuck you, Finn. I tried to help you. You suck. You should have won."
That's great. I mean, I'm into it. Yeah, I was stoked on that ending. The rest of it, I don't know if like Finn has kind of like soured to me over time because I feel like a lot of his matches are just like sling blade, kick into the corner, quick coup de grace on the
Yeah.
ground.
Well, you're not wrong. You're right. But also, because now that they're finally like heating him back up, it's like, oh, we love Finn, but he's also getting older, and he's in that AJ area where he's like 5 moves of doom. But they also booked him really, really bad for like years.
Yeah.
And I think like some of that stink is finally starting to wear off, but because we're such like marks, we still remember like this guy was getting jobbed out like 3 years ago, you know? So
I think they also just like did such a poor job with the demon stuff.
yeah.
That I mean, his WrestleMania match, that was like my least favorite match against Edge.
Yeah, man. And like, I mean, you know, maybe the injury, but like that disappointed me too because I thought that was going to be maybe the best match of the night, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm stoked on that feud. I think Damian Priest versus Finn will be awesome.
They always have great. Honestly, Finn's best matches on like not even on the main roster in WWE to me have been with Damian. Like he had some matches in NXT with Damian Priest that were fucking awesome. Besides that, Kevin Owens. Like Kevin Owens and Damian Priest have the best Finn matches in my opinion. But,
I wonder what Rhea and Dom do when the Judgment Day expires. Do they get new people or
they just go Latino Heat, baby.
They just go Latino
China
Heat
and Eddie. Just go China and Eddie, man.
I'm fine with that too.
And then Buddy Matthews signs a contract with WWE and comes in and starts feuding with Dominic.
That would be great.
Or Dominic and Rhea go to AEW.
Fight for the big goth ladies' love. You know, you gotta do it. That match was solid in my opinion, great in your opinion. And then we went on to the second women's match that pissed me off. I don't think the match was bad. I think the match was fine. These are three people that can do a good match no matter what. But to have Bianca, Charlotte, and Asuka in the ring, Asuka as the champ, for Bianca to pin Asuka only for Io Sky to take it off Bianca was the stupidest thing I've
to pin
ever
Charlotte. She pinned Charlotte.
Or pin Charlotte. Yeah, that's right.
There's a lot about this match that was really weird.
It's
honestly.
Like why did you take the belt off Asuka like for no reason? When you're gonna have Io run in, it just seemed like an insult to Asuka. Like
I'm gonna tell you, man.
That.
I'm gonna tell you, man. I haven't because it's only been less than 24 hours since this match, so I haven't been on the internet much to see what people are saying about this match. But there's a lot with this match. To me, I have less of a problem with what you had and more of a problem with, and maybe this is just a symptom of me not watching the weekly television for the past month. I have more of a problem with like Charlotte right now. Like,
well, she was just kind of like coming in to do the match, I guess.
That and like, she seems really, really rusty. In the like, besides the Rhea match, like she botched a whole lot of stuff in this match. That moonsault didn't even hit anyone to the floor. She tried to do the natural selection on both of them and didn't even grab their necks. There was a bunch of, she tried to put them both in a figure eight and messed that up too. There was a bunch of like weird spots. I will say like all three women in this match were great. And I think more than anyone in this match, I think, and my favorite in this match is Asuka, just like yourself probably, but Bianca is so good. Like, and I think it's criminal that they're not, I mean, I guess you could say they have been giving her a lot because she was the champion for a very long time. But I think they need to go ahead.
She had no stories while she was champion.
And she still doesn't. They need to switch her heel to me. Like, I like her babyface fire. Like, in this match when she got hurt, we were texting like, is this real or is this not? And we all thought like it was probably a work. But still, like, she played it up very well. Her facials are just on a whole nother level. I don't have a problem with the finish like you did, but I do agree with you on the fact that Bianca pinned Charlotte and then Io came out. It was like really weird the way they did it.
Yeah, like I don't understand.
We'll just have to see what they do on Raw. You know, like see what.
I mean, I guess it's probably they don't want Io feuding with Asuka because then you have two non-English speaking people.
I mean, I think eventually the money's in that match, but I guess they don't want to get to it yet. Maybe they want to build up
but
to
it just, I mean, for Asuka to like not even be like in the equation of the finish of the match and just get beat like that is disrespectful.
And
I
much
think.
like Bianca, they haven't really given her any stories either. It's like missed.
Well, I'm fine with Asuka not having like stories because Asuka's like Brock, kind of
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's just she's a beast. You
No
put
one's
her
ready.
in
No
there
one's
with
ready. I'm
people.
going to miss you. I'm going to tap you out.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fair.
Uh,
That's fair. It's just that's fair. It's just
But it's just also the same thing with both AEW and WWE.
I was just about to say that both
where-
companies are in this really weird spot with their women's divisions right now, where they have so much talent and there's so many good matches that happen so often, but there's also like a lack of substance.
Yeah. There's just
So-
they're not giving any of the women stories. Like, give them some time, like they've proved time and time again that they put on amazing matches. Now give us a fucking story to go along with it. Like, the only story that's happening right now really is Becky and Trish, which didn't even make the pay-per-view. Like, it's
which I will play devil's advocate at that because, well, first of all, like I did like something that I saw on Collision, which we'll get to with the women, but to play devil's advocate with you on that one, and to really a lot of people on the internet, I kind of sort of get it in a way because Becky and Trish are the two best talkers. So like you can't just put, Asuka and Raquel in a feud because they don't talk that great. You know what I mean? So it's tough, but I do think that there is space for those feuds that can tell great stories with certain women that they're just not using. And like I said on Collision, there was something that happened that I think has potential to be a great women's story because all those women in that are very talented. So,
I mean,
we'll get there.
I don't completely agree with the talking thing that much. Like, yeah, they both can talk like pretty well, but it's just
acting
like
in general, like just acting, camera presence.
It's also half the men can't fucking do it either, but they still have storylines. Like, what do you? A lot of the women are fucking new, so that's what wrestling is. That's what WWE is. They need to put them out so they get better at promos.
You're right.
But if they're not having any chance to do a promo, then they're never gonna get better.
Yeah.
Charlotte got all the time in the world for years, and she still can't talk. But it's like. But
Yo,
Becky
I'm not gonna lie too. Io was talking during that press conference. I watched the press conference at the end. Io's English is actually very good. It's way better than Asuka's.
Then get her out there talking.
They should, because she was like at the podium, and she like I'm gonna be like there's the corner store around the house, or the corner store around the corner from my house. There's a young man that works there that just moved here from India, and his English is not good, but I can still understand it, and we have conversations. Io's English is like way better than his. Like, let Io talk more. Like, let her talk more.
Yeah. Your English is better than Aaron's corner store guy. So you should get out there and start busting promos. No, yeah, I think I've heard some of like since she got Money in the Bank, she's been doing little promos that have been cool, like little background things, proving that like Bailey didn't really need to talk for everybody the entire time.
I disagree. Dakota, she needed to talk for Dakota. she needed to talk for Dakota.
But yeah, like Bailey's great. You can put Bailey with some of these new women, and Bailey will, keep everybody elevated on the promo the whole time. Becky does it. I don't know. But yeah, there's plenty of people that can keep a storyline going. That's not like a excuse to just be like, well, I guess we just won't give them anything. Like they'll never grow.
Turn Bianca heel though. They need to turn Bianca heel.
Yeah, Bianca should be heel. She's in that like been babyface way too long kind of role to the point where everybody's kind of tired of seeing it.
And it sucks because, like I said, in that match, you can see why they haven't turned her because she's such a good babyface. But
turn her heel. Let her finally cut that fucking the ponytail off, so she doesn't have to deal with that anymore because it looks annoying as shit to wrestle with. But yeah, Io Sky defeats Bianca Belair, becomes the next Was that Raw Women's Champion?
Before we move on, how long do you think Io Sky keeps that title?
A month. Like next pay-per-view.
I agree.
They gave it to her. Unless she does a story with Bailey, which I'd be down to see for a while.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know if they're like ready to get to that point yet or not, but they should be ready to get to that point because I don't think anyone cares about Damage Control anymore. So
that's wild too, because that just means that like the big stables all over WWE are kind of breaking down. And what will they do next? Speaking of the biggest stable, the Bloodline was the last match on the show. Roman Reigns beat Jey Uso after the surprise finish.
So surprising.
Jimmy coming out and turning on his brother. Oh my goodness, the drama. I would feel way better about the ending if one of the Usos had a belt. Like if they go into this match that like literally since we've watched the Usos, we've been like, it'd be cool if they wrestled each other, you know, like, and they're finally gonna do it probably.
Yeah. That's
but
what
there's no stakes for it.
It's been said by them that they want to fight each other at WrestleMania, and it's funny you say that about a belt. It's like you read my fucking mind or something. I was talking to my little brother earlier today on the phone, and you know, I kind of feel what he was saying. He was saying that he's a little fatigued with his bloodline stuff, and it's like. And he kind of got to the same point as you, like, why are we doing this? Like, this is just get to the match between Jimmy and Jey, and hopefully Jimmy's not aligned with the bloodline anymore. And I said to him, I feel you on that, but what I want to see is I want to see Jimmy stay in the bloodline with Solo and Roman and have Jey break off. Have Jey take that United States Championship from Austin Theory. Have Jimmy and Jey feud over that U.S. title and fight for it at WrestleMania. That's
fine. I'm fine by that. Any belt, give them something.
Yeah, because it's
to
getting
fight
stale.
for.
It's getting stale, and they're all so good. Once again, they're all great at. These are guys again who are really good at the WWE style. You know.
I mean, we don't even have to talk about the match. Really, it was a great match.
We don't. But my thing is this too: is like you said, surprise, like in a cheeky way, and I feel you because it's like. I'm not surprised at all that Jimmy and Solo, like, I'm not surprised at all that everybody's turning on everybody in this feud. So let's just go ahead and get that out of the way and just move along. So
yeah,
hopefully we can get some. I mean, we know we know Roman and Cody probably isn't going to happen till Mania. But you know, maybe Roman's off TV for a while,
which that's fine.
Yeah,
if I don't want to see him feud with anybody else because it's like
because no one's going to beat him.
Nobody's going to beat him until Cody comes back. So it's like
right.
And even then, Cody might not beat him if it's next WrestleMania and Roman gets his hand raised again, that would be insane.
You know what I wouldn't mind though is if they do like a thing where it's like, once again, go to the OGs, go to the well. You got people on your roster who are legends that you're not doing nothing with. It'd be cool if like Edge went on a little run for 3 months and then was like, I want to challenge you, Roman Reigns, and Roman Reigns came out for one match and beat him. Or AJ Styles, beat a bunch of people for 3 months and then fight Roman Reigns and lose, you know?
He did that little interview where he was saying that he wanted to get the belt one more time before he retired. So
that would be cool, but that's like honestly, other than like Edge, AJ, maybe Shinsuke, maybe Gunther if you took the belt off of him. Those are the only 4 people other than Cody that I would even want to see. Maybe Drew McIntyre, but he's already lost. So like maybe Sheamus. Did Sheamus have a shot at Roman and lose? I think Sheamus did too.
I don't know, but can Sheamus just beat? I mean, he didn't beat fucking Gunther, so it's like
yeah. So like who cares? Like other than like AJ, Edge, and maybe like Randy if he came back and Shinsuke.
Yeah, I was gonna say Randy. That would be like a fun back and forth.
Yeah.
You wouldn't expect Randy to win, but it's gonna be like a good match.
The
promos would be great.
Sentimentally, I want to say KO, but KO's already lost to Roman like 10 times, so
that's true. Well, KO's injured, right?
And he's injured too, so yeah.
So whatever. But yeah, that was SummerSlam. It was a good show overall, I think. Good SummerSlam. What's next? What's the next pay-per-view?
I don't even know, man.
It's one of those like in between ones.
There's so many pay-per-views. I don't know.
Fast Lane.
Fast Lane's before Mania. What is this? I think like Payback or something. I don't know.
Small Lane.
Something like that. Good show. Was it better than last year's SummerSlam? What happened at last year's SummerSlam?
I don't know.
I don't know either. So this one probably was better.
They all melt together.
Honestly, it's sad to say, but besides the women's matches, it was a pretty good show.
Yeah, that is kind of sad.
The finish of the triple threat was bad. The Ronda and Shayna was just should have been someone else in that spot. The Battle Royal was whatever, but it was all right. It was a mid show. It was mid, but it was all right.
It was all right. It's not gonna make me go back to watching WWE every week, but it's I'll still keep up as well as I can. We might start getting monthly pay-per-views from AEW, switching over to the AEW kind of side of things.
There's a lot of news.
There's a lot of news. They bought the copyright for what was it, AEW Plus or something like that?
Oh, did they? So they're trying to do a streaming service.
I think they're going to try and do a streaming service, and if it went that route, I could see them doing the pay-per-views monthly. Like, I think where it's at right now, where there's 4 a year, I'm like, here you go, I'll pay for that, that's fine. But if it's a monthly pay-per-view thing, and it's not on a streaming service, if they're all $50,
no
I'm
way.
not buying.
Yeah, they're gonna have to go to a streaming service to do that. And they should, if they do that, they should add Ring of Honor instead of Honor Club, because Honor Club's $10, and it's like that's the same price WWE.
Honor Club's so expensive for no reason. I have no idea what's happening in Ring of Honor.
And maybe I'll actually watch it. My brother watches Honor Club more than I do. He's been watching. He started from the first episode on Honor Club, and he's been watching the Ring of Honors. I'm like, I wish I had as much time as you, bro.
Yeah.
But I don't.
There's too much wrestling.
Yeah.
Since the last time we talked, and we haven't talked about it yet, but Collision started. And I think it's kind of taken over as the number one show, in my opinion.
Best wrestling television show on TV.
It's a good show. It's got the Bang Bang Boys, who I love. What are they actually called? The Bang Bang
Bullet Club Gold.
They're Bullet Club Gold, but what have they been like yelling at each other?
Oh, the
like
Bang Bang Gang.
Yeah, the Bang Bang Gang.
And the gold members. Don't forget the gold members.
The fucking Juice walking around with a cutout of Jay.
I don't think we've potted since all of our love has grown for Juice Robinson. Like, yeah, because I'm pretty sure I was shit talking Juice Robinson like a few episodes back. I fucking love this man right now.
And now you are rock hard for Juice Robinson.
I'm vascular for this man. He is probably my favorite wrestler right now. Like, he's top 3 for me right now.
He's
sure.
Great. He's doing a lot in that ring, but it's all working.
It's so good. He's so fucking good, man. He's so good.
And I think I was talking shit about Jay White probably last time too, and how like he doesn't have any stock with me. Like he's a good wrestler or whatever.
You and Mo were saying that she didn't know anything about him. And I was trying to tell y'all niggas. Trying to tell you.
Well, like I said, he came around once before, last Forbidden Door, and didn't really make an impression on me. Now he's like, ever since Collision started, he's just elevated himself to like one of the matches I have to watch on the
every
show.
Week. Like for the first 3 weeks, I mean, them and FTR, whether they were wrestling against each other or someone else, I mean, they were upstage in Punk's matches, like, so.
Yeah, I think honestly, Punk is for me, like, he's doing cool stuff with the belt that he never lost, but like, for me, he's kind of the least exciting point of that show right now.
Wrestling wise, for sure. I think he's definitely like
he's crushing it on the story.
He's diving deep into the character work for sure. For sure.
He's doing good. Bringing back the straight edge stuff was great. Writing an X on the belt is great. All that stuff's good. But the star that I had really soured on, that Collision has brought back to me in a huge way, is Andrade. Like, I'm over the moon excited to watch an Andrade match now.
Talk
And he
about
looks
bangers.
like a beast.
Talk about bangers, dude. That man's been having bangers.
And talking about like giving Brock a little gut and makes him look more menacing. They gave Andrade that gut, and he was like, "Good God, he's scary."
It's like he flips higher now that he has a gut. Did you notice Brian Cage's gut this past weekend too? He's got
big
abs and a gut. How do you have a beer belly with abs?
He was talking to Jericho probably.
That's called steroids.
He's like, I got these good steroids. They're gonna put abs on your gut.
I was watching, man. Not to cut you off to where you were going, but I was watching the tag match this past weekend, and this man hit the tope out of the ring, and I was like, dude, Brian Cage has to be like 280, 290.
And he's
like,
tiny too.
Beer gut, 5'8", 290, with the beer gut and fucking Adrian Neville abs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Pac abs. Like, bro, what type of juice are you on, bro?
I don't. Do you think Pac's on steroids?
I was texting the group chat, and I'm 100% sure he is. Sidebar, we're about to get sidetracked, guys. We're about to go off the rails right quick. I don't know what happened, but I fell into a hole. Like, so, you know, my YouTube algorithm gave me like these like Reddit stories videos, right? So it got me on Reddit, like trying to find like random like subreddits of weird shit. So I just looked up steroids one day, and like the steroids subreddit, like, and I was looking at pictures of all these dudes that have been on roids, and you can just tell, like, you can tell when someone has that roid body, and like Pac,
thick
that
body,
man is juiced. That man is juiced.
But it looks like I'm so used to it because he's been that same level of jacked his entire career.
He has,
you know?
he has. He's bigger now, though. Like, he's defined now. Like, he's cut up. Like,
and they still won't give this goddamn man anything. Like, I don't understand.
He's
Is
hurt.
he hurt again?
He got hurt. Like recently. Like, he got hurt. So he's out for a while now. And he just came back.
He just had a match, right?
I'm about to Google what his injury is, but continue on your Rampage tangent as I Google.
But yeah, we're just kind of like we're just trying to touch on Collision. I thought it was going to be the villain show, and Dynamite would be like kind of the face show, which it is kind of, but it's become like so much more to me. Like I love that show. It's 2 hours, which is a good time limit, I think, and it's made me disregard Rampage entirely.
Oh, 100%. I mean, like, even in the group chat, Eric will be like, watch this match from Rampage. And I'm like,
It's there's too much wrestling.
I don't got time for Rampage. But yeah, so apparently Pac's going to be out for a while, apparently. So this is from Wrestle Inc.
Aaron, look at this body. Look at that body.
Yeah, that man is on the juice. His from Wrestle Inc. It says, AEW says Pac is injured and will be out of action for quite a while. The latest setback for one of the company's original stars. The announcement came from Tony Schiavone during Friday night's Rampage in a segment recorded at Daly's Place.
Okay.
The location of episode's parking lot fight main event between best friends Chuck Taylor.
I do need to watch that match.
And the Blackpool Combat Club, John Moxley. That was a good match. I just don't care about the best friends. I'm gonna be honest with you. Chuck and fucking Trent, I don't, especially Chuck. I fucking hate Chuck. Trent is cool. I fucking hate Chuck. And his name's Chuck Taylor. Hate Chuck. Can't stand him.
I love Chuck. You're coming at my boys right now, which I think it's unneeded.
I've hated them since Ring of Honor. I can't stand those motherfuckers. Can't stand those motherfuckers.
I love both of them. And with Orange. They're perfect. They're perfect for me. You're perfect, Chuck, with that little gut. That little Eddie Kingston gut out in your onesie.
No, continue.
Do you think it's the same outfit, Chuck and Eddie Kingston?
I did not think that's what you were going to ask. They probably do get their other, besides the kick pads, they probably like have the same tailor or some shit.
That's true.
But I'll say this about Collision, man, and what I love about Collision. And what I hope that they can continue to keep is continuity between what they're doing. Like and you've been watching AEW since the beginning, so you know how it was early on. I can tell you just from how long I've been watching, there's a lot of like breakups and continuity week to week on a lot of the shows. You won't see certain people that you're expecting to see a story continue with until 3 weeks later. Whereas Collision, every week it is perfect episodic television.
It has been pretty solid on the storyline.
At the beginning of every show, everybody cuts a promo that's on the show to tell you about what they're doing that night, whether it's cringe or whether it's good, but it's perfect because it's telling a story. It's keeping it moving. Every match makes sense. Every feud makes sense. It's very well put together. I'd really love to know like exactly who is writing for the show because this does not look like Tony Khan booking a lot of the time.
Well, I think going off of what you just said, like I don't think everything makes sense. Like the split show does present some problems with all the roster not being there. Like
yes,
when Punk takes out the belt and says, "I have the belt," MJF should be right there.
you know it's
being
coming.
like,
You know it's coming though.
I know it's coming.
It's coming because
But the fact that he
FTR
said-
called out the Bucks too this past weekend, so it's coming.
The fact that he hasn't said anything about it yet, though, is
Yeah.
kind of like you just don't give a shit that on the other show, like Punk is
Yeah.
saying he's the champ.
Well, I'm not as mad at that right now because it kind of makes sense with MJF's character right now. He's just
Yeah.
happy to have a friend. He's just happy to have a friend, bro.
Dude, him and Adam Cole,
Yeah.
the best thing on television
He's
is
happy
him
to
and
have a
Adam
friend.
Cole.
It's like you with Gabby. You know, like there's times where you probably just like 10 people call you a day. You're like, I'm just with my girl right now.
I'm just hanging out.
He's with Adam Cole playing Fight Forever. You know, yeah.
He's glitching through the stadium. No, yeah, I think Dynamite still the flagship show, but Collision is showing that it can garner more interest right now. It is a new show, so that's the other thing that's kind of there that has it going. Has a whole new look. It's the red is really cool to see.
You got Elton John as a song.
It's the intro song is great. It
is.
goes with it, so it gets me hyped up when I'm watching Collision. It's just like Saturday night, and you're like, it is Saturday night.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch Collision.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see how it goes once they get through these initial storylines, because that is kind of the AEW thought process, which is like, we got some stuff lined up, and then once it's done, chaos, you know? So-
Yeah, I will say one thing too. It's a shame that because of course, spoiler alert, we do listen to other people's podcasts. It's a shame that the numbers have not been that great for Collision, and it's on a Saturday, so that's a weird day. It's just a shame that this level of booking is on Saturday, and sometimes seems like it's absent on Wednesdays. Wednesdays are still fun; they're fun. But I feel like a lot of times Dynamite feels like a fever dream sometimes, where you got Excalibur going really fast, and you got match, and it's like Dynamite feels really, the pacing of Dynamite sometimes can be very heart attacky, whereas Collision's very methodical and plotted out.
The thing keeping Dynamite together right now is Adam Cole and MJF.
Oh, 100%. 100%. And it's been showing in the numbers, too. They've been spiking the rating every time they're on, by 100,000.
It's them, and then it's the absurd vignette of Swerve Strickland and AR Fox.
Oh, man, we do have to talk about that. Oh, my God.
We'll go into that. But, yeah, just saying, the two back-to-back is fine with me. I don't kind of favor one over the other too much at the moment. I still love Dynamite. I go out of my way. It's like a ritual for me every week at this point. And I haven't been disappointed with it. That's where you see the Elite and stuff, and that's where you see, like I said, MJF and Adam Cole. You're getting cool Darby vignettes and shit like that. Darby's kind of influencing Swerve now with his vignettes.
Darby has been really stepping up here lately too. I'll say that.
I think Darby's definitely stepping into a role as I'm one of the senior people of AEW now. He's no longer kid Darby who crashes into shit, and
which is weird because he probably comes up to your waist in real life, but
yeah, bro.
But hey man, I respect the guy. I respect him.
It's fine. You gotta respect. And I think once they get back into America, you'll also see Jeff come back because he hasn't been able to go to Canada with the DUI stuff.
Oh, they're fighting the Bucks on Wednesday.
There you go. So they'll be back.
This Wednesday's Dynamite is going to be really good. This will probably this pod will probably air before that. This Dynamite is going to be really good tonight if you're watching the pod right now, guys. So
I kind of expect the car crash chaos on Dynamite because that's kind of what I go there for. I kind of love it. But with Collision doing great stories, I also wonder if that is Bryan Danielson's influence since he took over creative. I think he's. I don't know if he's just doing Collision or if he's doing Dynamite and Collision, but
I wonder what that team is, because that's what I was saying earlier. Is like I know Brian's doing stuff on Collision. They hired Cassius Ono or Chris Hero and Jerry Lynn. I think Jerry Lynn's mainly on Dynamite, but it would be awesome to know who's writing for both of them. We got to hit Moretta up and tell her to get some inside scoops from
go dig and see who's writing for what. But yeah, I mean, that's all we really got to say about that. Like, Rampage kind of seems superfluous now. Like, it's too much. And,
I think they should just make that the new, AEW Dark. Just like, well, still have it on TV, but have
I feel like it is
your younger
much,
guys. Like put Top Flight on there every week. Put Big Bill on there and put him in prominent spots every week. Put Big Bill in main events every week on Rampage. Do that.
Big Bill.
He main evented on Collision the other week, so
that Collision match was actually pretty good.
But put him on Rampage too, because he needs reps. Because he can definitely spread his wings and fly a little bit if he gets a little bit more direction in the acting department. I think in ring he's just fine for a 7-foot guy at this point. He's better than Kevin Nash ever was. So I think he's good enough to be 7 foot. So give him a little bit more time on the mic on Rampage that no one's watching. And,
Big Daddy Bill. I agree with that. Just keep, because do they have Dark anymore? Dark and Elevation?
No, Dark is gone, and I think I don't think they're doing house shows anymore either, because Collision took over a bunch of the dates that they were supposed to do for house shows, and that's why I was in Canada for the first month. So, I mean, I think the next 2 months for Collision are going to be for the company in general, are going to be so pivotal, because, of course, the Elite just re-signed. And I think that it's no coincidence that, Dax and Cash called them out on Saturday after they just re-signed. They probably were waiting for that paperwork to go all the way through to be able to do that. And now that that's happened, the proverbial forbidden door within AEW has now been cracked open a little bit, like I'm a Collision. CM Punk came out with the I'm a Collision girl shirt on, and they're drawing the lines of separation. So I really do think my theory is correct, where yes, there was beef between them all, but we're still getting worked. Like they're behind the scenes talking every day, like in 2 weeks Adam Page is gonna come to fucking Collision and he's gonna fucking confront CM Punk, and CM Punk's gonna beat him, I mean,
CM Punk doesn't have a match for Wembley yet.
What are your thoughts on that? Because I feel like Joe is a weird opponent for him at Wembley. I don't mind it, but that's
I guess
weird.
He does. I guess Joe called out Punk.
But he didn't accept the challenge. I just feel like that's a weird. I mean, I guess it's fine because MJF is going to be fighting Adam Cole, so it's fine. And Adam Page obviously isn't going to be fighting him by then. The empty-headed fuck, according to CM Punk. His words, not mine.
You also have All Out 2 weeks later. So and All Out is kind of I think the bigger of the pay-per-views, so they always do really big shit there.
Right.
So I think they already sold their tickets for Wembley. They're going to put a good show together, but it's kind of we're just doing this because, we filled the stadium.
Just to sell some tickets because, Punk and Joe is going to sell. It's just, I just feel like, I don't mind seeing Punk and Joe because it's always going to be fun, but why not have, CMFTR go against, the House of Black and Wembley instead of next week on Collision. I mean, that's cool. I'm glad we're getting it, but that's also a pay-per-view match right there, baby.
No. No. If it's going to be CM Punk with FTR, then it's versus the fucking Elite.
Yeah. But it's coming. The proverbial open door has been
it's coming for FTR to fight the Bucks. That's, that's
the start of it.
They got to do it now.
Whether it's the Hung Bucks, whether it's Kenny and the Bucks, it doesn't matter who it is. I would honestly rather it be the Hung Bucks because CM Punk and Paige have to fight again. Like there's like that the way they were talking to each other was too spicy not to not to fight again. He called him an empty-headed fuck. I don't care if we're in kayfabe wrestling. You call me an empty-headed fuck, I'm like, what, bro? Especially if a white man calls me an empty-headed fuck. I'm like, that's even worse.
That's disrespectful as shit.
It's even worse. You got a Pepsi tattoo? Come on, bro.
Come on.
Come on, bro.
I think we forgot to mention that Dynamite also has something going for it right now that's great, in that it has a very old, very not standing upright RVD in.
Oh yes, that's one of the main things I wanted to talk about. Sidebar before we get into that, one thing that we should have probably talked about today that we can probably talk about on the next pod. There's a list that came out of the top like 10 wrestlers under 30. We should definitely talk about that one. But yes, Rob Van fucking Dam, bro. That man threw that spin kick with that beer gut though.
He did throw that spin kick.
You see it.
He did.
I can't do that.
How many spin kicks he gonna throw in a 10-minute match?
Listen, anything is better than Sabu.
That anything man is better than Sabu. Wearing that shirt like a big boy at the pool, you know, like he just.
I saw the side profile. I said, "Damn, Robbie, 420 been real, ain't it? 420 been real, yeah."
That man's eating edibles and taking names. But
I will say though, it does honestly make so much sense for him to be the guy to fight Jungle Boy because. I mean, we were obviously kids when Rob Van Dam was coming up. And full disclosure for everybody watching, Rob Van Dam is my third favorite wrestler of all time. Jericho, Shawn Michaels, RVD. That's my guy. Obviously, you can tell what type of wrestling I like, even though I talk shit about the car crash matches. But when we were kids, I'm sure that there was people that were like, who the hell is this RVD guy? And why is he fucking jumping off of shit and blah? So he's like the guy who really like, is the forefather of what AEW is, and Jungle Boy is kind of that like snot-nosed teenager that the Jim Cornettes of the world hate. Yeah. So it honestly makes so much sense that this is the match.
Matt Riddle wouldn't have a character without RVD. You know
Matt
what
Riddle
I'm saying?
would not have a character, and Matt Riddle is like, dude, he's the worst version of RVD ever. So much worse. So much worse as a stoner than RVD, but
yeah,
I'm excited for this. Like, what are your thoughts on Jack's heel run so far? Also,
I really love Jack's heel run. It's up the character for me 100%. I'm not too stoked on the intro song.
I agree.
But him doing the vignette where he like buried Jack, which definitely had some influence from Darby.
Yeah, for sure. I
thought it was a great little like goodbye to Jungle Boy, which I've been waiting for him to leave behind forever. Like, could you please stop being Jungle Boy? You are a grown man.
I love how all the old heads still call him Jungle. Like how Jerry Lynn's like, listen here, Jungle.
It sounds so goddamn disrespectful too, and it's great. But yeah, I think it'll be a good match. I think Jungle will have to do a lot to.
I was gonna say it'll be a good match depending on what Rob we get.
Yeah, I want to see what's gonna happen. But it was so I laughed out loud when he walked out because it was Jerry Lynn being like, I can't do it because I'm too old. So here's a dude that's the same age as me. I was
older. He might be older because Jerry Lynn don't look bad. Jerry Lynn probably
Jerry
like 50?
Looks like he's doing a lot better than RVD.
Jerry Lynn is at least the same age as Jeff Jarrett. He might be a little bit younger.
Yeah, like I was like, Jerry Lynn, this is not what you just promised us.
Hold on. We're gonna do a fact check right here while we're Jerry Lynn.
I was actually getting pretty excited to see Jerry Lynn fight Jack Perry.
Jerry Lynn is 60. He looks good as shit for 60.
Yeah.
Jesus
RVD
Christ.
can't be 60. RVD is probably like 50 something.
RVD is a fresh 52 years old. He looks about 60.
Well, he needs to he needs to turn back the dial on time
Yeah, he looks
for
about
this
60.
match. He looks pretty bad, but I guess that's what wrestling for all these years will get you. You know, he's still a legend. To see the spectacle of RVD, he did crush that spin kick. The
He
spin kick
did,
was
and
great.
I think well he was in WWE in like
It
2014 was his
wasn't that long
last.
ago, yeah,
2015 or 2016 might have been his last.
but he looked a lot better
He
then.
was
I
definitely in
think,
better shape.
yeah.
I honestly might like try to look up some indie RVD stuff from the last couple of years tonight and see like what he's been looking like, because as long as he doesn't look like fucking, Shawn Michaels, Kane, and The Undertaker, and Stone Cold, or Triple H and them looked in Saudi Arabia. So I said Stone Cold. I didn't mean to put Austin in there. Austin looked great with Kevin Owens.
Yeah. Stop.
But
Leave Austin out.
leaving Austin out. But yeah, that Saudi Arabia shit. As long as he doesn't look as bad as Taker and them looked the last couple of years, we'll be good.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like it's one of those, and AEW has put some very old people in the ring to do stuff.
Like I said, anything is better than Sabu. So
Sabu, goddamn,
So you're good.
I've marked that out of my memory, but
I'm sorry I made you remember.
RVD, dude, you got to pull something off. You got to defend the ECW name because.
So do you think he wins the FGW championship and retires it like he's been saying he's going to do?
I think that would be fine.
Yeah, because we don't need that belt.
I don't need that belt.
Don't
What
need
is
it.
that belt? It's just been like Hook's belt forever.
It was Taz jerking his son off to give him a title, pretty much.
Yeah. It's fine if that goes. There's too many fucking belts in AEW, and that one never made any sense to me.
Speaking of belts, one more thing we should talk about about AEW. I don't know, what you're thinking about on time, but one more thing. Jon Moxley is 100% taking that belt from Orange Cassidy. I think that's what's in the cards for the international title going forward. 100%.
I would be okay with that, but like Mox doesn't need the belt. Like
I think Jon Moxley's going to take it, and Jon Moxley's going to be the first Grand Slam champion in AEW. He's going to be the first one to have the world title, the international title, and the tag titles.
And did they get the trios titles for a second?
They might have got the trios titles too. I know he's been a
I
tag
think House
champion.
of Black took it off the Elite. So, yeah, that's fine. I would rather it be Yuta or Claudio that gets it, because that's not a belt that really needs to go to like a huge person like Mox. Like,
Yeah. I don't know about Claudio though. Claudio, somebody needs to take that ROH title off of him. I haven't been watching enough ROH to know who should, but
I don't know what those belts are. Like, I'm like,
yeah, I haven't been watching
they all
enough to know
have
who's
similar names.
Yeah. I
King
mean, I
of
know you
Strong
got.
Style belt.
I mean, the last episodes of ROH I was watching was like Dalton Castle and AR Fox, and who else? But those were like the two like guys I would think were like top guys. But I don't know who else in ROH right now is vying for that title.
Well,
so.
now AR Fox is a top guy in AEW Dynamite.
Oh, I forgot we were going to talk about that. Yes.
A brutal vignette where they held that little boy down.
I loved every second of that shit.
They brutalized that little boy.
That was so fun. I think I said in the group chat that like Swerve reminds me of Tupac and Juice right now. He's just such a like sinister, like just like, I hate to say the word, but gangster. Like, it's gangster, bro. Like, it's so gangster. Like, the whole, like, leaving him in a pool of blood, that's some, like, straight up, like, Crips and Bloods type shit, the way they're moving. And it's fucking great. You know what's good about this faction or whatever they're making? I'll tell you what's good and what's bad. What's good is that in AEW, because it's TV 14, they have creative license to actually do, like, visceral, like, just, like, hardcore shit. Whereas, like, in WWE, you're not going to be able to do shit like that but it's so much more impactful with the visual, like the blood, like that, right? And then the thing they're doing bad that I don't like, that like the Mogul Embassy is doing, is like who the fuck are all the members? It's like every week Prince Nana's with the whole. I didn't even know Brian Cage and Big Bill were part. Like I thought they was with Matt Hardy and them, and then they broke up. And so who's all?
They also had those two white dudes that just kind of like disappeared. The dudes
Parker
with the face tat.
Yeah, like what happened to like? So who are all the members? All I care about is Fox and Swerve, honestly. But who are all?
Which
the
is fine because I think that's what they're gonna do, and then Prince Nana will just like take care of Brian Cage and Big Bill when it pops up or whatever. But
yeah,
but no, I was really into this vignette. It was brutal. It was like, oh, okay, they're going full dick in.
I wasn't expecting it either. I was not expecting it because it was like every time they cut back to him, there was more blood. I was like, oh shit.
Do you think he just bladed and it was a little on his face and that was like fucking Kool-Aid next to him or something, right?
Listen, I thought the same thing. I was like, I hope that's fake.
It looks fake. It looks faker than the blood on his face. So.
I think maybe because it was on one of those like softer wrestling mats and it was like puddling up real nice, which that gave it a great effect. I think it was harder to tell because the color of the mat was like blue mat with like the red on it, made it look kind of purple. It was hard to tell.
But just rolling up to somebody's place and like.
And then they broke the window with the skateboard when they were leaving.
Yeah.
I love
great.
The best part as skaters, it's always just so entertaining. I know for you it's entertaining to see this. The footage of AR Fox and he's holding the skateboard by the trucks. And I'm like, yep. That's some typical nigga shit who never rode a skateboard. He was like, let me see that. Let me do a trick right quick.
He's gonna jump on that skateboard and start pushing manga. And
that was amazing.
Yes, the amount of times of our youth that happened to us.
Let me do a trick.
Let me do a trick, and then they fall on their ass, and they're like, "All right, Playboy, you have fun." But yeah, dude, Swerve is The more we talk about AEW, like Dynamite's not. It doesn't have that many issues.
Yeah,
like, it's like you have Swerve, you have Sheeta as the women's champion again, which I think is a huge move in the right direction for the women's division. As much as I've liked Tony's heel run, it just hasn't seemed like a championship run. But
she hasn't really had any real opponents.
Yeah.
And I will say the Sheeta thing surprised me. I didn't think Sheeta was going to win. That was like really shocking.
Well, you didn't watch during Sheeta's first run, right?
No.
Sheeta was like the best.
That was during the pandemic, right?
That was during, so yeah. Now she gets to actually be a champ in front of people, which is cool.
Nice, oh yeah.
And then over on Collision, Statlander has the belt, and I'm like, the belts are on the right people.
They are, man.
Let's go.
I will say, dude, I fucking love Tony's heel shit. Like the promo she cut with Tony Schiavone on Collision.
The promo was great.
So good.
She was like, I feel naked without the
like,
belt.
And then she's pretty much naked. She's like, look at me. And Tony's like, yo, relax, bro. You have a boyfriend. Yeah. Your boyfriend's like behind me right now.
And he's rock hard and he's gross.
No, shout out to Sheeta. She definitely deserves it. And, bro, the emotion on her face when she won, that was like, that was real. That was so, like, it was beautiful to see her.
Where she's been since she lost the champion has been, like, very, like, low tier kind of place on the card. Like, she was just helping out, like, Ruby and Tony for a while. So I guess that's, like, a callback to that. And now that I think about it, that's actually like a pretty cool story, but it wasn't really like brought up at the time of her winning. So
it should have been, honestly. That's actually, they need to put Pat on commentary out there.
Yeah, they just did like all that stuff with Sheeta and Tony and Ruby before they became the Outcasts.
You know why it didn't get said? Because Excalibur was like,
Excalibur was too busy naming moves that nobody's heard of.
Oh, man.
I will say the announce team on Collision is way better.
Yeah,
they call the matches in a way that like keeps you way more invested.
And it's a 2-man booth. I never liked 3 people. There's too many people. All you need is 2 people.
I love the announce team on Dynamite more for their banter back and forth than for them actually calling the match.
I love Taz on Dynamite.
I love
He's
Taz.
Fucking hilarious.
Taz fucks up shit all the time. His relationship with Tony Schiavone is like unparalleled. It's so funny. Them just taking jibes at each other, and Excalibur like trying to keep them on track.
I would love to see just Taz and Excalibur. Because Tony does the in-ring interview still, and then have him like Jim Ross when Jim Ross comes out like he did for the main event on Collision, and every now and then for a special match, have him come out, you know.
And Jim Ross goes home and goes to sleep like he needs to.
And you know what? You know what? Jim in short spurts is totally fine. Like in that main event with Punk and Ricky Starks, he still had his moments where he was a little senile, for lack of a better term.
That's a step. That's a
little harsh.
That was a little harsh.
But like he was just fine. Like I liked it. I liked him with those two in the main event with Nigel McGuinness and Riccaboni.
Yeah, it's fine. I would rather see Tony in that role, like you said. Because
keep Jim doing like the fucking interviews and the vignettes where you can edit it.
Yeah.
Put him. He's good at those.
And don't put him with not one New Japan wrestler, because he's just gonna call him boy or muffle the name. Be like, here.
He's like, say that again. Say that 3 times
fast. But yeah, I think that's fine if it's just for the main events and stuff. The Ricky the Dragon Steamboat stuff was cool. They didn't, have to use him that much. I think they used him in the right amount in that match.
They did. And they didn't underuse him either, which is what I was afraid of. Which I was like halfway through the match, I was thinking like, why the fuck is he out here? But then the involvement made sense.
And the match was great. Punk was really putting a shine on Ricky the whole time. Until, like I said earlier, we were talking before this, until the roll-up finish, where Ricky the Dragon Steamboat had to get into the ring to count it. He had that man in a roll-up for like 12 seconds. It was like, is Ricky dead? He can't get out of this.
I liked it. I like how they're I like how they're playing with the tweener status of CM Punk so well.
Yeah.
Because the people wanted to cheer Ricky Starks. But I think everyone in the match, including both referees, did a good job getting the heat on Ricky. And especially Ricky, like big props to Ricky Starks. He is making big strides. He's making very big strides. So
big strides. We're getting a little late in the pod, so let's finish with this. Let's do our kind of dream booking for Wembley, because a lot of the matches aren't out yet. I think the only things that have been announced are MJF versus Adam Cole, where Bebe is definitely going to turn on MJF.
As he should.
They played that so well, too, where MJF wasn't looking at Adam Cole.
And he was like, just do it. He's like, I should do it. No, just do it. Listen, I wish that we've been potting, because I said since this team started that Adam Cole is going to turn on him. And everybody's like, no. I'm like, no, they did. Adam Cole.
They did a great job on that contract signing, though. Like, where you saw it. You saw the glimpse out of Adam Cole when he's like, I'm not going to give you the match. And Adam, like, his whole personality changes. But MJF is like looking down so he can't see his facial features.
Yeah. Adam's whole like skin went pale.
Yeah.
When he said it. Yeah.
And he's like, what did you say? Like, what do you, and he looked angry like he was going to fight MJF. And then he was like, we're going to do, what did he say? It was like,
we're going to do it at Wembley at the biggest.
Yeah, we'll do it at Wembley or whatever.
Possible.
Yeah. And his whole demeanor just like went back, like he had got caught, and he was just back to being like, "Oh yeah, definitely,
BFFs, bro,
BFFs." So that's the match. That'll be like the final match. I don't know who actually wins that. Do you think MJF wins and then Adam Cole turns on him?
I think Adam Cole wins with help. from either Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong, a returning Kyle O'Reilly, or we saw the breadcrumbs being planted of the Kingdom right after
That's true. Yeah.
that segment last week. The Kingdom were on TV talk. So, and I've been saying that since the beginning too. I've been saying this, and everybody's like, the Kingdom. I'm like, yo, I'm telling you, the Kingdom. And I'm gonna be real. To me, Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong and Bobby Fish, if we're counting him, are better wrestlers than Matt Taven and Mike Bennett. But I think character-wise, like actually like acting, Matt Taven and Mike Bennett are like better in every way besides in the ring than those guys. They just got left
they're
behind.
great. I mean, Aussie Open that's Aussie Open, right?
No.
No, the Kingdom is. Oh,
Kingdom,
that's right. That's right. Yeah, that's fine. I mean,
but I think Adam Cole wins with help. With help,
definitely. The Roderick Strong, like shit fit that he threw afterwards, was golden. So I would see Roderick Strong coming out to help Adam Cole.
But I wouldn't even be mad if Adam Cole didn't win with help, because I still do want to see Punk and MJF for the real World Championship. You know, maybe MJF wins and then Adam Cole beats him up after the match with help, and then they go their separate ways, and then I don't know.
That would be a cool thing where MJF just goes kind of like I might have lost that belt, but I'm gonna go get this one, like that kind of thing.
As long as that's what ends up happening, because that's what everybody wants to see. So
I just want to see Hangman do something too. Can we get him into anything? That would be great.
So if we're getting into the fantasy matches, that's the match that I want to see at Wembley, is CM Punk and Hangman.
Yeah.
That's the match.
But Punk is one of the three matches. So Elite FTR, I think FTR wins that match.
Yeah, they should, because they said that's. So I didn't see their other two matches, but apparently this is their rubber match, so they're 1-1.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think that they were gonna do it for a while, because they had that stuff I think right before the Briscoe matches started, and then the Bucks kind of became like a joke in light of those matches. Because I remember they came out after the second Briscoe match, I think, and they were basically boot. Everybody was like, please leave. We just want to see the Briscoes and FTR fight.
That's funny. That's funny.
So, but now, they've built it back up to where I'm really excited about that match.
Well, now Jay Briscoe's dead, so his shadow.
Well, that too, yeah.
His shadow isn't lingering over the Bucks anymore.
FTR should win that match. And then Punk versus Joe. Punk wins that match, definitely.
Yeah. So besides those matches, I guess, because those are the only matches we know. Do you? All right. Before we even get into it, do you think Punk accepts the challenge? I mean, he probably will. He'll probably have a match.
Yeah, he'll probably have a match with Joe, yeah. And then it all out.
Because their last match was good, but it was definitely a fluky Cody Brock type of win. Yeah. So,
I mean, yeah, I would like to see Jay White versus Ricky Starks or something like that.
That'd be good. That'd be a good one.
Especially since, is Jay White British or is he Australian or some shit?
He's British, but also they're both heel, so I don't know if that would happen, but that'd be cool.
I could see something I don't know where she's at, but it seems like it's been a lot of time since she left. I could see Mercedes coming back for something as a surprise. Because the women just don't have anything lined up right now.
They don't, and it's funny you say that, because shout out Mercedes. It's funny you say that because we didn't even talk about Jade Cargill, and you know what a dope match at Wembley would be Jade and Mercedes if Jade could get the stick out of her ass. But
I don't think Jade's coming back anytime soon.
The way I've heard her talk about the wrestling industry is not the most flattering. And I think if she did come back, she'd have to be a heel at this point, right? People would probably not be very happy with the way she spoke about wrestling fans and the business.
Yeah, I mean, either way, it's whatever. I like Jade.
I do too. Black Girl Magic.
That wouldn't be the match that I would want them. I would probably want Sheeta versus Mercedes.
That'd be awesome.
That would be great.
That'd be really good.
And you have Mercedes coming out of the New Japan matches, so she's like used to Sheeta's style. It would be a good match. And then Statlander, just put her with whoever. I don't know, like Willow or Taya.
You know what would be really cool that I don't think has been done often in AEW, and correct me if I'm wrong, is like a women's like ladder match for that TBS title. Like have it be like Willow, Stat, Mercedes Martinez, Sky Blue, and like.
Also, shout out to that Stat and Mercedes Martinez match. That thing was good.
I meant to mention that because I said something about it earlier, but I love the angle at the end because that's a good story to start with your women. That's a good. Anyway, go watch it if you guys haven't.
I'd be down to see something. I don't think they've done anything like that really.
Like a five-way women's ladder match. I'd like to see that in AEW. You know?
They only do that stuff for like initial belt, like the first match for a new belt or something.
Like the inaugural championship.
But that's a cool idea. I would like to see something like that.
I think we're getting Mox and Orange Cassidy at Wembley. I think we're getting that.
That's fine. Like I said, it's not my like pick for.
I'm with you though. I would rather it be Wheeler and Orange. Claudio's cool, but I don't think he would be in that spot. But realistically, I would rather it be Wheeler because honestly, I think Wheeler and Orange would have a better match than Moxie and Orange.
I think it should have been Yuta or Daniel Garcia to take the belt off.
Daniel Garcia is another one. I like him better than Wheeler too, but I don't know what the JAS.
He got that dance over, baby.
He did, and who knows what is going to happen with this JAS story. And I'm going to be real with you. When they first started breaking up the JAS, I was like very like kind of low on it. But the deeper we're getting into it, I'm kind of excited to see where it goes. Like,
and I think I texted it to you, but like on Dynamite, seeing Danny Garcia and Sammy Guevara work together as just like their own tag was better than anything they did together in JAS.
They're fucking sick.
I was stoked on them together.
They're a great tag team.
Which
sucks because they're both really good single too.
Yeah.
But as a tag team, I think they do have a lot of potential. I would love to see them fight against Jay White and Juice. That'd be a fucking great. They should do that on Collision next week. That'd be great. They should.
But yeah, I'm always rooting for Daniel Garcia. I always want him to get something because he's so good. Even though he's ripping his pants sometimes with that fucking.
What was that? That Forbidden Door 4-way before Forbidden Door. It was like him, Orange Cassidy, Shibata. Dude, he worked his ass off in that match.
Was Sammy in that match too?
It might have been Sammy. I think it was Sammy. But he worked his ass off in that match, man. Like that match won me over for Daniel Garcia. Because when he in the ring with all those other guys who were like amazing, I thought Daniel Garcia was going to he was the star of that match to me. So.
That match was great overall, but we can't even remember the fourth fucking.
I'm about to say we haven't potted since that show came on. We didn't even talk about that match. There's been so much that's
Forbidden Door, but we don't gotta take a step back that far.
Yeah, we're already here.
We're already towards the end.
Wembley dream matches though.
All right, so what do we have left? We got the trios. So it would be House of Black versus
Mogul Embassy.
Mogul Embassy or Jeff Jarrett again. Let's go.
I got the sign back there, but it's on the Sting side. You can't see it right now, but it's on the Sting side. So if it was Mogul Embassy, Swerve, Fox, and who's the third member? Who's the third? Big Bill?
I would rather be Big Bill, but I'd be fine if Brian Cage was in there too.
Yeah.
I don't care as long as Swerve and AR are in there. Just have one of the big dudes in the back, like doing something. But when that finally breaks up and we get the AR and Swerve match again, it's going to be so good.
Oh, yeah.
They already did it once, I guess, when
they need
Fox.
Need to give Swerve something. Like, I thought he was going to get that international championship. They need to give this man something because him and Daniel Garcia both, those two, I think, like, the underrated Dynamite stars have been him and Daniel Garcia. They both have been, like, the workers. They've been, like, the Chris Benoit, Eddie Guerrero and WCW guys. Like those guys have been really putting in work.
And Swerve's podcast also gets all the AEW insights. Did you see the thing where on the negotiations, the Elite all go together? Like that was their.
I saw that he had them on, but I didn't watch it. I should probably watch that. After
So a stipulation of it was like the Bucks, Kenny, and Hangman. No one of them would have gone to WWE. It had to be all of them.
Oh wow!
And they treat it kind of like I think like an Eddie Guerrero, Chris Benoit, WCW situation where they all went over together.
That's interesting. That's really interesting because I feel like WWE would be like more interested in one or two of those guys than the other.
Yeah, they were talking about how like it's been going on for months and like they just signed and they didn't know the whole time whether they were staying or leaving. Like
I wonder how much money, like especially compared to like 6 years ago or whatever, that WWE offered Kenny. You know?
It's got to be something stupid. Like, I don't know.
They had to at least pay him as much as like AJ's getting paid. At least.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I would think Kenny, Jericho, and Sting probably make like the most
in AEW, yeah.
At AEW.
For sure.
And Bryan Danielson.
Well, Kenny's character on the fucking game is the most broken, so you know how that goes.
Well, he made the fucking game.
He did make the fucking game. Yeah.
Yeah, are there any other belts that we're forgetting?
Hopefully the FTR belt's gone by then.
There is a belt that we're forgetting. I don't even know who has it right now. The TNT title. Who has the TNT championship?
Christian and Luchasaurus.
Oh, yeah.
They're bringing it back to relevancy. We got to let them build it up a little bit.
Yeah, let them build it up in the background. I completely forgot about that.
What did they do on Collision? I just watched it before we potted, and I can't even remember it. Christian cut a promo.
I don't know.
Christian cut a promo with his daughter and told the security guard to remove his daughter from the building because she didn't have credentials.
Christian is a phenomenal heel. Like,
so is it going to be Christian and Luchasaurus at Wembley then?
Versus somebody else?
No, against each other maybe.
No, they're not going to fight each other.
You think they're going to drag it out like for a minute? Yeah, they should because it's just starting. So
let that be the squash match. Let Luchasaurus like beat somebody in 5 seconds or something. Like
yeah.
Send out Daddy Magic.
You know who we haven't seen on TV in a while is Wardlow either.
Was he injured? Maybe
no. Him and Arn were doing their thing, and then he lost the TNT title, and he's been gone ever since.
I think Wardlow got injured though.
He may have. That might be another one we got to Google. There's so much. I wonder how long of a show they're going to do in Wembley because there's so many people that deserve to be on that card that probably won't get on. You know, like I would love to see Powerhouse Hobbs. He was doing a lot on Collision at first, and I think they're setting him back up with QT TV, and it's like I thought we were past the whole QT TV thing with Powerhouse Hobbs. You know, I don't think he'll get on Wembley. You know, Ruby and Saraya. You know, I know Tony Khan has he definitely has a soft spot for Tony Storm. But Ruby and Saraya, they may not get on Wembley. And Ruby's from Saraya's from England.
It would be weird if Saraya didn't get on Wembley.
That's what I'm saying. She's from England. Like, you know.
I think they'll definitely announce something for her. I would like to see Saraya versus Mercedes, too. I still want to see that.
That'd be great. That never happened to WWE, did it? I can't remember.
Don't think so.
I don't think that ever, because she was, I think the whole time, most of the time Sasha was there, Paige was not wrestling because she was hurt.
Yeah.
They might have fought like once, like really early, with Sasha being there.
Maybe, but it was also like when Sasha and all of them got there as the four like they were just kind of like fighting each other, and that was it. So, yeah, I'd like to see all that. That'd be cool. We got Wembley coming up. I'm stoked for it, and then we got All Out right after that, which seems kind of crazy that they're gonna like build to another huge pay-per-view that fast, or if they're just gonna kind of like use Wembley to set up the stories for All Out. I don't know, but
I've got one more dream match.
All right,
for Wembley.
What is it?
Karen Jarrett versus AJ Lee. Book it. Mixed tag: Jeff Jarrett and Karen versus AJ and CM Punk.
Mixed tag: Karen Jarrett, who can't wrestle at all, versus AJ Lee, one of the best wrestlers in women's wrestling.
The only women's wrestler that mattered until the Four Horsewomen.
Until the Four Horsemen.
Besides Nikki Bella, I'll give Nikki Bella her flowers.
Yeah, not Brie so much, but.
Yeah. We still love you, Brie, but yeah.
We still, yeah.
Not
Together,
so much.
y'all were much stronger than apart.
100%.
But cool. That wraps up episode 14 of Permanent Marks. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. If you've been here this long, I know it's a long pod, but we had a lot to catch up on, being gone for a month. So yeah. You can check out in the description for where to follow me and Aaron. Aaron's always posting his toy vids. We kind of gave y'all a glimpse of that at the start with us showing off our new figures nowadays.
Yeah, and we're gonna try to we're gonna try to get back on track weekly. We were talking earlier about what we've all been up to. I'm moving this weekend actually, so it might be another week or two, but we're gonna figure
something out,
especially leading up into Wembley and with Collision. That's kind of threw a wrench in the schedule, guys, because we normally pod on like Saturdays or Sundays, and Collision's now on Saturday night, and then everybody's got stuff going on. We're all adults. We got to jerk our dicks every now and then, that type of thing. So, but anyway.
But yeah, we're going to try and get back on track. If anything, I could even, show up, help Aaron move, and we do a audio only pod just to keep it going, keep it on a consistent basis. But, thank everybody that's listening to this, because it means a lot that y'all would want to hang out with us for 2 hours. So very cool thing. And until next time.